Okay, and we're back with Dark Empire 2. So this is the crazy Star Wars Extended Universe Legends story, where at the moment Palpatine was resurrected, then he died, Boba Fett was resurrected, then he careened into the far reaches of space. Leia is pregnant with a third child. Palpatine wants the baby.
Is there any reference to the other children, or are they just
being
babysat at home?
Are you aware with Han and Leia had 3 children.
Yep.
Jason, Jaina, and the third one, who you'll learn the name
of. A little girl named Felicia.
Where is Fergus, Farkle, and
Felicia?
So that we've got those 2, and you'll learn the name of the third child come this story.
Why do I feel like that's something you're holding out on for a reason?
I'm holding it out for a reason.
Is it Chancellor? Do they give him little baby Chancellor?
Chancellor Skywalker. That would suck. It'd be like naming your kid Albus Severus.
Or like naming your child
Fuck. So, Luke Skywalker... So this is the opening crawl for the next one. Luke Skywalker's bold attempt to learn the secrets of the reborn Emperor Palpatine's power nearly ended in disaster for himself and the Alliance. But now, with the aid of information gleaned from the Jedi holocron, Skywalker is prepared to search for a Jedi who may, even as hope, seems to be rising. What? Oh shit, I missed the line. Skywalker is prepared to search for a Jedi who may still survive, and who can aid him in his quest to destroy the Empire once and for all. But even as hope seems to be rising, the Empire is extending its grasp beyond the boundaries of the galactic core. And so once again, they're going beyond Coruscant. So right off the bat, we are thrown into this massive, confusing battle going on. So there's this new guy, Executor Cedrus, who is basically a Palpatine loyalist, and he's like, I'm not going to stop until he's back. And they're invading this small planet, and there's a guy named Beltane who's trying to defend his planet. So there's so much exposition about thousands of new battle droids getting created. So Beltane is accused by Cedrus of helping the rebellion, supplying them with droids, but Beltane has more advanced droids. So he says, we'll leave this place, we won't kick your ass, and we'll sell you the droids for the Empire that you... and so Cedrus is like, yeah, alright, but don't tell Palpatine that I bought them. Tell him that I crushed you into submission. So we cut back to Luke. Yeah.
Is Palpatine not dead in everyone's eyes, or are they like, we know he's going to come back?
Yeah, that's basically it at this point.
Okay.
So we cut back to Luke, who has found another Jedi named Cam.
How many other Jedis are there?
We've run across 3 so far, and there's more to come. So Lando tells them that Beltane the Governor has agreed to give them a bunch of new war droids, which they have to intercept from an Imperial... I don't know if it's like a train or a space train or something. And then
so like in Solo.
In Solo. You remember.
I remember everything about Solo.
And then Wedge says about how about we, instead of intercepting them, we just hop in there at the time and then we take the droid straight to where they're meant to be going, which is Palpatine's place, and we just go in there and blow it up. And Luke's like, nah, we got lucky because... last time, the reason we got through was because that was the Millennium Falcon. It's like the fastest ship in the galaxy. And we had R2. But if we do this, we're going to end up like Boba Fett. And everyone's like, what would you know, Jedi? It's not like you can see the future, feel other people's pain, literally work there for a while. And so they basically tell him to get fucked. So Luke just sulks off. And he's just like, what happened? So everyone's just turned against him in like a second because he doesn't like Wedge's dumb plan. So Leia and Cam follow him and they find the holocron. It spurts off more like dialogue, like a bit more cryptic this time. Many great battles yet to come, many trials and tests, yes. And many Jedi Knights may someday be. But above all, patience is needed, one step at a time. First to Ossus, to the sources. Things that were lost can now be found. Someone who was dead may yet live. Although men cannot foresee its name, the Force can never die.
Yay.
So yeah.
I am a man who cannot be killed.
I'm Senor Chang! So Leia has to go and find an old Jedi named Vima Deboda. and she takes off with Han, Nix, and Sala. So meanwhile, back on the Emperor's planet, many of the Emperor's mates are slicing up his old corpses because now they want to take over the galaxy. Like, okay, Palpatine's out of the picture for a while, so we've just got to quickly.
So there's a void.
Yeah, we just got to
trying to fill.
We got to. Yeah, we got to. Okay, we're gonna rule the Sith. We're gonna rule the galaxy. He's out of the picture, and now is the perfect time where we can do this. And then Cedrus comes back and he's like, no, kills both of them. Figure emerges from the shadows. It's Palpatine, and he says, "Bring me the woman Jedi before she has her third child, and set all of your forces against Luke Skywalker." So he's back again for no reason. They don't give you an explanation about how he came back this time.
Is he looking like young?
He's looking like young Palpatine again, even though his body popped from too much anger. Palpatine's anger management is one of the best things in this story. He can't deal with it. He's just constantly on edge, and that causes his downfall each time.
Starring Charlie Sheen as young Palpatine.
So Han, Leia, Chewie, and Sala and Nix are on their way to find the old Jedi. And Han's like, "I'm scared into running into Boba Fett." And it cuts to Boba Fett, who's talking to these Dark Warriors, and they're like, "The Empire paid you before, but today we're making a new offer. You're gonna work for free." And he's like, no. And then they just start berating the shit out of him. Like, "You got hit by a blind guy and fell into a big butthole." So he says like, no, fuck off. And he just runs away. So, that's how people get out of the situation. They just run away, and shoot back the other way, and they're like, "Oh, big bounty on his head," and then they just escape.
To be fair, that's how I avoid my problems.
So the Falcon gets to Nix's workshop, and but the Empire already got there. So Han's just like, "Chewie, get in the gunner. We're gonna blow this guy's workshop up." So they blow up all of Nix's ship. So he's just got to watch his life's work be blown up by Chewbacca. So the Dark Warriors are hunting for the Jedi they're looking for, and it turns out that the old lady that gave Leia the saber in Part 1. She escapes. She is the Jedi they're looking for. So she escapes when they massacre a bunch of people because they're just like, the Force is strong in this area. Just take them all out. It turns out the bounty on Han and Leia's head has doubled since they're being blamed for that hut that got careened off the edge of the city. And yeah, I know. So eventually they escape in the Falcon again, and they fly through this like prototype Death Star shaft. So it turns it. So then, coming head on, guess who's flying his ship straight towards them?
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett he's got the Slave 1 back this time.
Oh, thank God.
And so it's basically a game of chicken where Boba Fett loses. So he's basically turned into Wile E. Coyote at this point.
I'm back!
They're flying straight on, and the Falcon, like, they're going, and then the Falcon literally, because you know how the Slave 1's basically got those two wings?
Yeah.
Falcon basically just turns its side and slices off one of the wings.
He straight up is Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah,
he can't die, but he also can't beat his enemies.
It gets better. So they find that old Jedi Leia was looking for, and Fett finds them again, like in the low canyons of the city. So Chewie just like fights him for 2 seconds, takes his helmet off, and so Boba Fett's like, "Oh, no one's allowed to see me!" Shoots straight up, just bangs into the roof. He literally just flies off hits the roof, and Han's just like, I can hear him groaning. He's still alive. And then they fly away, and Marco, the guy who betrayed Han, is in the tower. This whole thing is just turning into a straight out cartoon at this point. So he reports the Falcon to the Empire. So they start a tractor beam to pull it in, but Han's just like, all right, two can play this game. So he flies straight at the tower. So the tractor beam moves off the Falcon and onto the top of the tower. So they basically suck up, what's the Space Needle in Seattle? It's basically one of those. So they just suck up the top of it and it just goes straight into the Star Destroyer.
Oh, look, I've been impaled.
Yeah. So it destroys that. So Palpatine and Cedrus are plotting the demise of Skywalker. And they're on this way to So Luke and Cam, the new Jedi, are on their way to this strange new Jedi planet with a bunch of people who talk in an ancient language. and he finds them tied to a tree. So he frees them, and then it turns out these people are all force sensitive. And then at that moment, Cedrus comes around, and him and Luke have a fight before the tree grabs hold of Cedrus. And then it reveals itself to be... So you remember the riddle giving holocron? The tree is like the embodiment of the holocron. It's so weird. The tree is a force-sensitive thing who is got its conscience in a holocron. So it's
somewhere between Groot and a Whomping Willow.
Yeah,
it's like somewhere in the middle of it.
But it can also, I don't know.
Is it force sensitive or does it have the force?
Force sensitive. So it grabs Cedrus and then just sucks itself down to the ground. Then so he kills Cedrus, and then under the roots they find just thousands of lightsabers. Even though the lightsabers don't appear like that, it's a stupid thing. And so they're like, we're going to rebuild the Jedi Empire. So we go to Lando and Wedge, who are going to execute their big plan to take out the Empire with their new super droids they've got. Because they're heading straight to Palpatine's home. So meanwhile, Palpatine learns that Cedrus is dead, and he's just like, he can make new dark side warriors seemingly at will. So he's like, you two guards, come over here. I give you the Force. So
sorry, what?
Yeah, so at this point there's zero consequence to anything they do. They can take out someone, Palpatine, and just go, okay.
So he's now Oprah with the Force.
You get the Force. You get the Force.
You're all getting the Force. If you'll check under your seat, there's a cloak.
Yeah. So Luke and Cam are on the Jedi planet, and they take two siblings away, and he's vibing with this chick, Jem. He's like... there's like this moment where they fall on each other and it's just like hi, like you remember in Community when they make the sharp turn and like Britta falls on Troy and Pierce falls on Jem and just like hi, get off me. It's basically that. So Han is still being chased by Boba Fett, even though they chopped off one of his wings. And they lose him in a gas cloud. And when they come out of the other side, there's like this steampunk colony, and it's ruled by this former Jedi who was basically all of his limbs were sliced off by Darth Vader, but he didn't finish the job. So he's basically MODOK. He's like this floating like steampunk body with just a head, and he's just like, oh, nah, you're jealous, man. I could survive in space for months on end because I've got this sick MODOK body.
Look at me, I'm so cool. I don't need limbs.
So Lando and Wedge commence their attack on the on Palpatine's base in these new like OP attack droids. And the stormtroopers just think that they've malfunctioned, but really there's like a shit ton of rebels on board controlling them. So Palpatine's just like, unleash the chrysalis beasts. So they cross the gorge to the Citadel and are about to break through, and they're about to open the lift to get up to the main tower. And then these massive claws open the door, and out comes massive mutated rancors from Return of the Jedi. And so they start annihilating the droids. However, then at like the exact same time, massive coincidence, Sala and Nix are in this basically a Mos Eisley sort of canteen, and they rally a bunch of smugglers to go and save Lando.
Yep.
And they take off, and they just provide a massive Deus Ex Machina and get him out of there before they get eaten. And the Empire meanwhile is surveying his planetary defense system, and he's like, let them go because it's actually a super weapon. Yep. It only gets better. So he's like, I have a surprise for them. So Han and Leia are about to leave Steampunk Planet, and the Falcon has this new thing on the front after Boba Fett blew off like the front left sort of, I don't know what it is, the little bit on the front.
Yep.
The docking thing, I think they call it. So
docking, eh?
Yeah. So after Boba Fett. So they leave, and guess who shows up?
I refuse to guess.
Boba Fett has been circling the gas cloud for days, scanning for the Falcon, so they have another game of chicken. But that new thing on the front of the Falcon is a lightning gun. So they shoot it at Boba Fett. So that causes him to go spiraling out of control again, just flying into the gas cloud in a cartoonish spiral. Literally the same thing. He just vanishes again. So and Han's just like, I'm gonna miss him. So Luke is getting on like
he's
close.
Not even in inconvenience anymore. He's like yes, we get to do this again.
Yeah, I know. He'll be back. Don't worry. It's like you remember Megamind where it's like he didn't realize until it was gone that what he really loved was fighting against Metro Man, and once he was gone, it's like Boba Fett. Han and Boba Fett are like Megamind and Metro Man. They love the camaraderie.
When Joker says, "What would I do without you?"
What would I do without you? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
there's a deeper romance going on between Han and Boba.
Well, yeah, the Lego Batman movie is a romantic movie. So Luke is getting close to the girl Jem, and they have some lovely romantic dialogue. It's like generic beyond. I'm getting a strange feeling like I know you from before. Almost as if I've known you for 1,000 years. I have the same feeling. It is said that the feelings of timeless familiarity are not uncommon when people fall in love. Sometimes love is strengthened by a sensitivity to the energy that surrounds and connects all living things. Then they kiss. So Han and Leia, literally this chick you met yesterday. But it's true love, Harry. Because they've known each other for 1,000 years. Speak. He's been broken.
Love isn't real, it's a fake concept.
So Han and Leia arrive on New Alderaan to find their children Jaina and Jason Solo. So while Luke and Cam are on their way back, a massive object speeds past them, heading for the rebel base on the moon.
Is it Boba Fett?
No, it's not a ship though. It's a bomb sent by Palpatine, and it blows up the rebel planet.
It's a bomb vest on Boba Fett that Palpatine's just sent flying.
Boba Fett kamikazes on Palpatine's massive missile into the rebel moon.
He survives though.
So it's basically this is a hypothetical of what happened if the Death Star, if they didn't blow up the Death Star in Episode 4 and they blew up all the rebels. So now, Mon Mothma, Akbar, they've all been by this new Palpatine gun. So back on Han and Leia's planet when Luke comes down and tells them what... Luke comes down, tells them what happened. Meanwhile, Palpatine goes to Vader's old castle, where a rebel spy is being tortured to find out where Luke is. And he won't tell them, and Palp sends a bunch of large... he won't tell them, and then eventually he does, because there's only so much he can take.
Yep.
So then Palp sends a bunch of large ships to their location. So then Luke and Jem actually get it on, and then literally the second he finishes, the ships just come out of nowhere. And like they come out of nowhere, but then what they do is while Luke's sleeping, they send poison bugs into his room, like Attack of the Clones.
Yep.
But then he screams out because he could feel them with the Force, and he's like, "Ah! Bugs! Bugs in my room!"
That's a direct quote. Bugs. Bugs in my room.
Yeah, so when that fails, the Dark Warriors come in, and they're confronted by Jem and a pregnant Leia, and they're like, it's so bad what they said. More Jedi! Oh, don't worry, they're only women. Then Leia literally just literally just gets mad and slices the guy vertically and horizontally, and the guy just splits into four. It's like, take that, sexist. And then but then Jem, she gets shot and dies at the scene, and then it just turns to schlock. So MODOK,
so she got fridged.
Yeah, MODOK is basically whirring around with lightsaber arms. He just like gets his, and he just goes around the guys, literally spinning.
So he's a spinning top with lightsabers sticking out.
And so yeah, he's whirring around, and then Jem's brother comes in, Rafe, and he starts fighting everyone. But when they defeat them, AT-ATs ascend on the base and start blowing everything up. But then Han and Leia come in for the save, and they're transported. And there's literally pregnant Leia, who is like a couple of days away from giving birth, is like sprinting away from AT-ATs with both of her children in her arms, and Luke's just off there, still going, "Oh, no, the bugs almost got me in my sleep." Leia is like a full-on badass here. Luke is stupid, and Han is like an over-impulsive weirdo who loves Boba Fett. And so they're transported to a planet where the rebels are hiding, and of course Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar are safe. But Leia gives birth to a boy. Guess what they named it?
Felicia.
No.
Fergus?
No.
Farkle.
No.
Chancellor.
No.
Jar Jar.
No. What would Leia name her son?
Anakin?
Yeah, they name it Anakin
Oh,
Solo.
no.
So Han's just like, "Get ready, everyone, to meet Anakin Solo Jr." Oh, no. Get ready to meet Han Solo. Well, I mean, he's still Anakin Jr. technically, but he's like, "Get ready to meet Han Jr." But she's like, "Nah. Instead of naming him after a hero of the rebellion after you, let's give him the name of a genocidal authoritarian madman who tortured you for nothing. Remember that?" And he's like, "Oh."
Hey, he was just a protective dad. He's
Yeah.
like, "You're dating my daughter?" Nah.
Yeah. Okay, so Empire's End. This is where it starts to just... Well, it already has fallen apart, but this is where it loses itself.
Did it ever fall together before it fell apart?
No, it did not. Yeah, at least... Okay, when we were doing A Cursed Child, at least halfway through, I was like, I'm interested by some of this stuff.
Yeah.
In this, it's just like throwing everything at the wall, but nothing has stuck. And the one thing that could have been okay, which was Luke helping Palpatine, was like... That was gone
momentarily.
So, Empire's End. So, this is the opening call for this one. Emperor Palpatine has deployed a terrible new weapon, once again asserting his dominance over the galaxy. With the Alliance base destroyed and its leaders driven into hiding, many worlds sympathetic to the Alliance have capitulated to the Empire on pain of annihilation. So they're just like, "Take us back, Papa Palpatine. We don't want you to destroy us."
So when you say asserting dominance, is it in a meerkat way?
Yeah.
Does he make eye contact with the galaxy and pee on the rest of the galaxy?
If anything stood in his way, he just peed on it.
Like, how many backup plans does he have? Because he's had this destroyer, this terraformer, this, that.
Yeah.
And they've all been destroyed, and it's like, but he's got another.
It's great. Yeah, so Luke Skywalker and his small band of Jedi have all but one hope. Draw the Emperor into face-to-face confrontation, end his dark reign, and restore peace to the galaxy for all time. So they all been there, done that. So the group where Jem and her brother are... So the group that they took Jem and Rey from, they receive a cryptic warning and they're told of her death. And of course they're like, "Oh, Skywalker lied to us. He said he would protect her." And then and they're like, "Oh, mad." And back on the Rebel hideout, one of Palpatine's bombs comes out and it's headed straight for their planet. And they're like, "Fuck, what can we do? It's coming straight for us." And then it just doesn't blow up. It sticks into one of the ships, but it doesn't blow up. And they just say, "Oh, faulty Imperial technology."
So it's like the scene in Iron Man 1 where the bomb's next to Tony Stark and it like...
Yeah, it just doesn't blow up. It doesn't... Like Han, Luke and Leia, Chewbacca, R2, 3PO, they're all in like the same room and this bomb literally just comes in and it's just like right over there. And it's like, say the bomb's the size of that barbecue cover over there. And it's just there and it's just like... That thing could literally blow up our entire planet.
Oh, so it's plot immunity.
Yes! Faulty Imperial technology. So Palpatine's just like, what? How? And no one has a logical explanation for why it didn't work.
Does he put the force in the bomb and that makes it explode?
So they're like, "Stop, man, because the more mad you get, the faster you age. Because this body is weak and it can't take in all the Sith energy." Because Centrus was kind of a dud, so the thing he created was stupid. So, so instead he goes to Plan B, where he gets Force-sensitive people from that planet, and he's going to use them to create clones for his next body. So Luke heads to Vader's castle to save the future clones and they defeat what the other Sith Lords, the Dark Warriors that Palpatine's created. And it's basically a bunch of Sith versus Luke and a bunch of just random Force people, and they just take him out pretty easily. So then they freeze one of the clones, and Luke says to Palpatine, "Oh, you got to take me because apparently only Palpatine's the only one who knows how to unfreeze the people." So Papa Palpatine now looks like regular Palps. He's just a crusty old man now. He's all shriveled up. He looks exactly like Return of the Jedi Palpatine. So he goes to the Sith world Korriban, which some people might be familiar with, and he demands a new body. But the spirit's like, "No, fuck off." Yeah. and so Palpatine's like, "Oh." So he just heads off. But before he says so he's just like, "Okay, I guess I'm just gonna have to do what I was gonna do originally. I'm just gonna have to go into Leia's son Anakin." So they're like, "Fair enough," and he heads off. But then he's like, "Hang on, all right. Let me just tell you guys, when I'm in the body of the baby, you're gonna have to take care of me. And if you try to pull any shit, I'll kill you. Problem is, though, I'll simply be a conscience in the baby's body, so I can't really do anything. So if they want to..." Palpatine can't do anything about it.
Surely you kidnap the baby, you raise it to 10?
Maybe.
And then you possess it?
Yeah, but Palpatine just wants to go in there right now. Just grow up as a newborn baby. So,
yes, our boss, this baby.
It's like, I love the bit that it's like, "You're going to have to take care of me and nurture me, and you could probably kill me whenever you wanted, and I know that you guys are always trying to kill me behind my back, but I'm trusting you not to fuck this up for me." So, we go back to, Chewie and Leia touch down on this refuge dock, and they go to find this hotel to hide out in. And there's a massive space battle, Rebel fleet and the Imperial droids, and the Falcon hides in a nook of a Star Destroyer, and R2 starts to hack the destroyer, which is Palpatine's one. And Luke and Han go to confront Palpatine, but psych, it's one of his servants. And they realize, oh shit, he's at where Leia and the kids are hiding. It's literally one of those things where they walk into the room and the guy's got his hood over and they're like, "Oh." And he's like, "I'm not Palpatine. You're too late." So, they realize, oh shit, he's at where Leia and Chewie are hiding the kids. So then Palpatine has he goes to the hotel and he does this whole weak man routine. He's like, "Oh, I need room. Please, I need a room. Oh, but first, can you just take me to see Princess Leia? I just want to see her for no reason. Can you just,
as you do?
Can you just see me? Can I just say hi?" So,
"But I'm an old man."
Yeah. So they take him to Leia's room, and he's just like, "You've been a baby," and then he has a fight with C-3PO because it's basically C-3PO mechanic and Palpatine trying to fight him off. He's got no saber or anything. And then eventually he's like, "Oh yeah, I have electricity powers." And he does it, electrocutes 3PO, gets the child, but then Jem's brother Rafe comes in. And now Palpatine just electrocutes him and kills him straight away. And then Luke and Han arrive, even though they told him that it was too late anyway. And Palpatine's just full-on horror villain now. He's just doing whatever he can to get the baby. He's just screaming at everyone, "Ah!" And then he just won't quit, and then he's just like, "All right, I'm gonna kill you," and he lunges at Leia, and then he's shot by Han, and then there's this big energy. So at the end of The Exorcist, how he gets the exorcist to go, or the demon to go into his body, so he can save the girl, and he jumps out the window.
Yep.
So we see his energy attempt to go into baby Anakin, but then MODOK jumps in the way, and
MODOK.
Remember the steampunk guy from before? He just jumps in the way, and he has this struggle, exactly like The Exorcist, where Palpatine's talking to them, and then he's just like, "Oh no, you've got to get out of here," and then he just dies. Palpatine's hate takes over, but then he's like, "No, I'm gonna kill you," and then they just die. He dies.
So essentially, Shrek 2, when the fairy godmother casts a spell at Shrek,
yeah,
and John Cleese jumps in
the way of it, yeah.
Except instead of dying, he turns into a frog.
But it's not over yet because R2 has hacked into Palpatine's Star Destroyer, so he basically just holdos it at the planet destroying weapon. So and that causes a chain reaction, causing the thing to just like randomly, all of a sudden, just be directed directly at the at Palpatine's planet, and it just randomly fires off a gun down there, blows it up, and it ends. It ends just like that, and they just look off and he's like, I guess Palpatine really is gone. And that's how these books were written.
Not my tempo.
On my fucking So Harry, what did you think of Star Wars Dark Empire?
I checked out halfway through.
It is a goddamn mess.
So, Palpatine cannot die until he can.
Palpatine can't die until he goes into the body of someone who decides, nah, I'm going to exorcist you, and kills himself. And we get him another Death Star. Or we get another Superstar Destroyer.
We're getting 3 of each.
More Jedi.
1,000 lightsabers underneath the Whomping Willow. Sure. Oh, this Jedi's still alive. So is this. So is this. Order 66 really did nothing.
Order 66, no. Order 66, like... because, yeah, Order 66 wasn't a thing at this point. It was just... They called it the Jedi Scourge.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Oh boy, that was a doozy.
It's like... because I'd heard when people talk about the worst things in the Star Wars Expanded Universe, this comes up a lot, the return of Palpatine. And just how random it is and how it feels like... It just feels like, yeah... fan fiction gone wild, which is never a good thing.
So what was a worse reintroduction? Rise of Skywalker or this?
You know what? At least this gave you bad explanations, but it gave you an explanation.
But however,
however, Palpatine was better in Rise of Skywalker. This was stupid.
Like him being brought back, it's like he's not at full power. Because in that comic, he's just like, I'm back.
Yeah, he's back.
And better than ever,
He's
baby.
back. Yeah, they at least... In the Rise of Skywalker, he started out basically as a shell, a corpse.
Yeah.
And then by the end, it was only under the extremely super perfect circumstances.
Convenient.
Yeah.
The power of 2 or whatever.
Yeah. That's about it.
I got no thoughts.
Yeah. Like, with this one, yeah, because with this one, with the Cursed Child, at least there was only like 2 plot points, or like 2 stories like really going, or 3 technically. With
It's like, it's contained and concise.
Yeah,
this brings back everyone you've ever heard of, and
all over the
the other people you haven't heard of too. All I can say though is I want a spin-off written like a rom-com between Boba and Han Solo.
That is by far the best aspect because it is hilarious. It is an episode of Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, he careens off like a balloon. It's literally drawn out. Him spiraling into a gas cloud or into the far reaches of space, or him just flying straight up at the roof after Chewie rips his mask off.
Please, Disney Plus, give us Old Man Harrison Ford
versus Boba versus Tamura Robertson. I'll get you, Solo.
Oh my god.
So, I think Harry's pretty much dead now.
How come I'm always the broken one after these?
Yeah, I love these things. So, thank you for watching, guys. But, Harry didn't know this. I'm actually going to be giving a special sneak peek of my new story, Star Wars Storms of Vengeance, right now. It's been 4 months since the last part, so right now, you're about to get an exclusive sneak peek with the opening crawl. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Bye. Go on, Harry. Say goodbye. Say goodbye to the fine folks at home.
I hope you have a better day than I do.
There we go.